have any idea how a person feels while skydiving? The individual feels more anxious along with excitement, and the same person feels more fear too. What makes us anxious in the time of emergency? Some hormones are secreted in our body and released into the bloodstream, and the secretion starts responding to a specific target of the body. The pulse reaches our brain, and our body part urges us to respond to a particular action. Response to stress and the growth of an organism is regulated by endocrine gland. In this video, we'll be discussing the characteristics and actions of few glands and the hormones secreted by them. The endocrine gland is helpful in regulating the various physiological processes of our body. How is the sleep-wake cycle regulated in our body? What controls this process? Let us familiarize pineal gland. Let us try to understand the location of the pineal gland. The pineal gland is present in the dorsal side of our forebrain and secretes a hormone called melatonin. How does melatonin help in chemical coordination? Let's check. Melatonin regulates our diurnal, that is 24-hour rhythm, which regulates the sleep-wake cycle and maintains the body temperature, etc. Other than this, melatonin also has a positive influence in the menstrual cycle, metabolism, pigmentation, and in defense capability. Have you seen individuals with outward growth or swollen necks? This is an indication of hyperthyroidism. Which gland in our body is responsible for the regulation of iodine? Let us now check the importance of the thyroid gland. The thyroid gland is of two lobes located at either side of the trachea, interconnected by a thin flap of connective tissue called isthmus. What all components make up this gland? The thyroid gland is made up of follicles and stromal tissues. Each thyroid follicle is composed of follicular cells which secrete two hormones called triiodothyronine or T3 and tetraiodothyronine or thyroxine or T4. In TV advertisements, we have noticed that the salts are iodized. Why we have to use iodized salt? Have you ever thought of it? Let's check it out. Iodine is essential mineral for balancing thyroid hormones. What happens to the body when there is a fall in iodine level? Iodine deficiency causes hypothyroidism, which leads to the enlargement of the thyroid gland in the neck, and this condition is called goiter. Hypothyroidism during pregnancy affects the maturation and growth of the baby and causes slow and stunted growth, which is called cretinism. Hypothyroidism may cause irregular menstrual cycles in adult women. As a result of the development of nodules of the thyroid glands, there will be increased secretion of thyroid hormones, that is T3 and T4. This increased secretion of thyroid hormones causes hyperthyroidism, and it leads to many physiological imbalances. Let us check more details on hyperthyroidism. An exophthalmic goiter is a form of hyperthyroidism. What are its causes then? Check this image. You can see enlarged thyroid gland, bulging of the eyeballs, and also this condition increases the basal metabolic rate, which causes the weight loss, and this condition is also called Graves' disease. The excess and retarded growth of the thyroid gland causes these effects. Then, what is the function of these thyroid glands? Let us list them one by one. The thyroid gland regulates the basal metabolic rate of the body. Another function is that it regulates the metabolism of carbohydrates, fats, and proteins. It helps to maintain the water and electrolyte balance of the body. The gland also supports the formation of red blood cells. A protein hormone, thyrocalcitonin or TCT, is secreted by thyroid gland and helps in maintaining the calcium levels of the body. We have seen that thyroid gland is involved in the regulation of iodine content in the body. Do you have any idea which gland regulates the calcium level in the blood? Let's learn about parathyroid hormones now. Two pairs of parathyroid gland, which are 4 in number, is present at the back side of the thyroid gland. What is the significance of this gland? The parathyroid gland secretes a peptide hormone called parathyroid hormone or PTH. Along with thyrocalcitonin, PTH also helps in maintaining the calcium balance in the body. Parathyroid hormone increases the calcium levels in the body and helps in the bone resorption process. To increase the absorption of calcium ions from the digested food, the parathyroid hormone stimulates calcium ion reabsorption by the renal tubules. Hence, the parathyroid hormone is a hypercalcemic hormone. Have you ever wondered why young people do not fall ill too fast, but children and old people fall ill often? This is because of the immunity that the young people acquired. Then, my question is, what increases our immunity? The thymus gland is responsible for the development of immune system of the body. We shall study the characteristics of the thymus gland. Where is this gland located? They are located between the lungs and it is behind the sternum on the ventral side of the aorta. Let us now check the functions of the thymus gland. The thymus gland secretes a peptide hormone called thymosin. Thymosin differentiates the T lymphocytes to give the cell-mediated immunity and increases the production of antibodies to give humoral immunity. In all individuals, thymosin gets degenerated, thus their immune responses are so weak, so they fall ill soon. Whereas in children, it started to bud, so they also have a weak immune response. Imagine that you enter a roller coaster and you have reached the top part. You get high blood pressure, anxiety, excitement and faster heartbeats, right? Have you ever wondered which part of the body or the gland produces and generates these kinds of faster responses? Yes, it is the adrenal gland. Let's find out the characteristics of the adrenal gland. Humans have one pair of adrenal gland located at the anterior part of each kidney. The adrenal gland is also known as suprarenal gland. The adrenal gland contains two types of tissues. Adrenal medulla, which is present at the center of the gland, and outside tissue called adrenal cortex. We need to note that there are hormones secreted by the adrenal gland. We will discuss them later in this video. But have you ever wondered what happens if the hormonal secretion fails? Here is the answer. If the hormones secreted by the adrenal cortex are decreased, then it alters the carbohydrate metabolism, which causes acute weakness and fatigue, and this condition is called Addison's disease. Let me ask you a question. Why are we getting fear of fires? What insights inform that don't touch fire and give that fear on us? These questions take us to understand the hormones secreted by the adrenal glands. Adrenaline or epinephrine and noradrenaline or norepinephrine are the two hormones secreted by adrenal medulla. These are commonly called catecholamines. It is called the emergency hormone or fight or flight hormones. because it is secreted during emergency situations. That is, while driving, if someone crosses, we suddenly brake the car, which makes us frightened. These hormones increase alertness, causes sweating, piloerection, etc. Both the adrenaline and noradrenaline hormones increases the heartbeat, the increased strength of heart contraction and the rate of respiration. Catecholamines cause glycogen breakdown, which leads to an increased concentration of glucose in the blood. So we have studied and learned the medullary part of the adrenal gland. Now let's see the cortex part of the gland. The cortex is a tissue found outside the adrenal medulla. Generally, there are 3 layers. Let's understand them one by one. Zona reticularis or inner layer, zona fasciculata or middle layer, and zona glomerulosa, the outer layer, are the 3 layers of the adrenal cortex along with the outer capsule layer. Do they secrete hormones? Yes, they secrete corticoids. It is a group of hormones and they are involved in carbohydrate metabolism and are called glucocorticoids, whereas mineralocorticoids are the hormones involved in regulating water balance and electrolytes. Cortisol is the main glucocorticoid and aldosterone is the main mineralocorticoid in our body. Next, let us check the functions of glucocorticoids. It stimulates gluconeogenesis, lipolysis and proteolysis. It helps in maintaining the cardiovascular system and kidney functions. It inhibits the cellular uptake and utilization of amino acids. The cortisol stimulates RBC production and produces anti-inflammatory reactions and suppresses the immune response. What is the function of these hormones? Let us first focus on mineralocorticoids. Recall that aldosterone is the main mineralocorticoid in our body. Aldosterone stimulates the reabsorption of sodium ions and water and the excretion of potassium ions and phosphate ions. As a result, this maintains the electrolytes, body fluid volume, osmotic pressure and blood pressure of our body. The adrenal cortex also secretes androgenic steroids that help in the growth of axial hair, pubic hair and facial hair during puberty. Till now, we have learned about the pineal gland, thyroid gland, parathyroid gland, thymus and adrenal gland. You have heard about the insulin injection, which controls the diabetics, right? Do you know which endocrine gland secretes insulin? We will see the answer to the above asked question in the next video. Now, let us summarize what we have learned.
Manorama Horizon. Learning made simple.